I see you now too. So perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I will talk about a system. First of all, the heating system of southern Stockholm, and then the logistics systems of ship transport via train, terminal, and HCT truck. And let's see if it works.
Maybe you should need. Yeah, it works. Thank you.
Yeah, it works. Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a bit slow, but it works. We, in order to understand the task that we are dealing with, you must recognize the heating system of southern Stockholm. It's one of Europe's largest, and compared to normal industrial activity where you are normally indoors and have a quite good grip on your situation, we are exposed to warmer weather, colder weather, different boilers breaking down or start to producing in different areas. It's a lot of a very immediate impact, and that has effect on the demands on the logistics. So this map here shows where we are situated around here in Södertälje. We have central Stockholm here, and we have a huge grid of power heating pipes, and we also have electric turbines in some of our facilities. So that is our framework. Let's see, it's a bit slow.
Maybe you need to
assist
in
me
the
with
presentation.
forward the slides.
Excuse me. I think you need to click in the presentation first, and then you can use your arrows. Yeah, okay. Now it works.
Let's see. All right, right, very good. And we are back. Okay. So here, all right, great. And on top of the more random production environment, we have the base of our fuels. Since we are a heating and electricity company, our base is in recycled materials from forest industries and from the society as a whole, which means that we have not so many possibilities to steer the volumes that are coming to us. The volumes of fuel coming as a consequence of other things, when you saw logs or when you take your car to the recycle station and so on. And that that is something that we want. So that we don't want to go for virgin sources, so to say. We want to take the sawdust from the forest industry, and we want to take what cannot be either reused, recycled. We are here just before the last step to dispose or dig down something, and we don't want that. So that's here. We are here, and we want to more or less that as much material as possible is left up here in this staircase. Then we come to the logistics that I'm dealing with. Just to have a rough picture, we have about a normal year at least, about 200 vessels coming in, around 20,000 trucks and 100 trains, if you look at an average a couple of years back. So it's quite intense. So that's the frame. We take about 1 million tons of fuels a year, and we derive the fuels derived from waste and residues from cities and forests, and this puts some stress on the logistics. And then now we come to the core of this. It's the train system that we have, the terminal in Nykvarn that we will take a look at, and the last very important transport with the HCT truck from the terminal in Nykvarn into Södertälje. Here's some pictures and just some background info. You see our plant here in the back with a vessel in front. We have a glimpse of the terminal here with a train discharging and a reloader loading the truck. So we have good possibilities to adjust the logistics to this environment. And an own key at the site. Perfect to have two vessels at the same time. We take all the three major transport alternatives: road, sea, and rail. Go back to the next. So this is the intermodal part of the day, let's say, with a train system. So when we look at the train, what we have an own train that we charter 100%. It consists of 22 wagons with 81 Innofreight XXL containers. And we have two double-mounted electric engines to have maximum traction. So we have a payload of maximum 1,600 tons per train, and then you can recalculate comparing to which truck system you compare, that you substitute a lot of truck transport with one train. And since the average transport distance one way is 450 to say 500 kilometers, you see that's hard distances to go with truck to get the drivers and so on to work for so long shifts. So the train is very useful when you go past 300 kilometers. The train, when you run the system, we calculated that 2 or 3 trains a week, about 150 tons per year on average. And the power is then green electricity. It's important to keep in mind when you look at the data from pollutions and how environmental friendly it is. It's a very environmental friendly system. The train then comes to the terminal in Nykvarn, where it discharges. For various reasons, we have the terminal 70 kilometers from the production site. It's not possible to have the train just running straight to the boiler. The terminal uses for train discharging and storage handling. We can store quite a lot of tonnage, about 60,000 tons. Then again, since we are a big consumer, it's only 3 weeks consumption when we go full power than the winter period, November to March. So the terminal operates 24/7. It's 9 hectares. All the machines are powered with pure biodiesel, HVO 100. And keeping in mind the description of the net, how fast it changes, how big it is, this terminal allows us to adjust logistics. If weather is warm or cold, we have experienced that just the last few days, going from -4 to +13. It's a lot of different energy demand that changes. And since we have the base that I described earlier, we are very sensitive for other obstacles like Corona lockdowns will shut down society and leave us without the fuel that we planned for. So there you have all those things must be able to handle by storing fuels at Nykvarn, which is the big place that we have. Then we come to the trucks, and I heard earlier a lot of the later speakers. We experienced more or less the same things from our point of view. We are part in a nationwide Swedish project, Projektet, with high capacity transport, and the aim is to increase the capacity for better environment, for better safety, and for the to reduce the how much we put power on the infrastructure. So again, our trucks are, the axle load is not more than a standard truck. We reduce the number of trucks, which we think is positive for the safety, and so on. We started in 2014 with increasing what was then 60 tons gross weight up to 74. So I mean, the same figures that was been presented before. We reduced the number of transport then with about 30%, and emissions and fuels were cut by around 10 to 14, depending on which type of transport you look on. Then again, this spring 2020, it was time again to go to 98 tons with a payload. I was a bit optimistic. I see. We normally load about 65 tons payload, and to have a margin to the maximum max. So I would say 66 is the max payload and 65 is the average. So, but compared to the original 60 tons, the payload increase is about 75%. That is very good. And the trucks are working on the same as the terminal machines, pure biodiesel HVO 100. So looking at the whole chain with a train system that is powered from Swedish water power, more or less. We have terminal trucks with pure HVO 100, and we have the truck taking it the last mile to our boiler, also with power with biofuels. I think we have a fairly good system. So this is a test. We had this test for a period of time, but looking at it for now, I think this is a very good logistic system for the future to be adapted more or less to be not a trial project, more or less to be like a standard way of doing these transport. Scania was keen on to go to Holland. I will start. I'm more modest. I would like to go to the port of Oxelösund with the high capacity solutions in order to make better logistics here locally. But we are very pleased with the outcome so far. So thank you for your attention.
This was also, as everyone has here, very interesting. So now it's time for the last presentation for